Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook, and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. It is Celine Driver, once again bringing to you another tour watch. This is a watch I do not own. This is a watch that is touring right now from the Random Rob Patreon/Discord group. If you don't know what that is, briefly, Random Rob, who is a YouTuber with a very good sized channel with a very good sized footprint out there. I will link to his channel in the description. He gets watches from various places, and after he gets a chance to review them, he then offers them up to his Patreon members via the Discord server that is out there to sign up for the opportunity to be on the watch tour. That means that the watch travels from Patreon member to Patreon member. They get to play with it for a few days and then send it on to the next guy. That's what we have here. We have here today a second Borealis. I think I'm pronouncing this wrong, but Cascais V2. I've already reviewed one. You may have seen that video it was a few videos back. It was the white-faced watch. This one has the black dial, as you can see there. Nice little travel leatherette case, very nice. I believe this watch, as you can see here, is I guess you would classify this as a pre-production watch or a production sample watch. These watches are not currently, as I'm making this video in late October, early November, depending on when it's released, 2020. These watches are being sold on the Borealis website, which I will link to, of course. These watches are listed now as sold out. What they were doing is they were taking half payments on the watch, and then once the watch ships, I guess the balance is due or something. These watches, I believe, as the time I'm making this, are not shipping yet. So I believe this is what we would call a production sample, or maybe a production prototype. But obviously looks good enough to me to be a full production model. I mean, nothing about this watch screams half-hearted or half-effort. Like the white dial before it, this watch looks ready to go. This one I like a little better. I'm more a fan of darker colored blues, blacks, greens than of white dials, although I do own a few white dial watches. This one I like more, and you can see that cobblestone pattern in the dial, which I think is very nice. I like the added touches of gold on the hands and the indices. It gives it a very nice, classy look to it. Great bezel. Very nice, very vocal. Has a good feel to it. Lines up just nice. No slop. The crown, which is a screw down crown, when you unscrew it, also has no slop, and it is an oversized crown with a B logo for Borealis. So nothing about this watch screams cheap or half-assed. So, very nice watch. Nice clasp. It's a double fold, or it's a fold over with double pushers. It's a milled clasp, not a stamped clasp. You get nice artwork on the back. So it looks really, really nice. I even like the nice touches of the screw down. The tool holes are, not that rectangular cut that's cut to the edge. It's nice little round circles that are kind of inset into the rim. I mean, overall, it makes the back of the watch look a little better. Looks a little bit more quality. Very nice watch. And considering this watch, by the time it got to me, has been through, I believe, 9 or 10 tour members before me. The watch is in really, really good shape. The crystal is clean. The watch case shows almost no signs of wear. I like the drilled lugs. Those are always a nice, convenient touch for getting a tool in there to change straps and bracelets. The bracelet itself doesn't show any real signs of stress or flex. It has plenty of room between the link pieces, so the watch will breathe nicely. It's really a nice watch. I'll put it on here so you can get a wrist shot on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. It fits very nicely. On the overhead shot, you can see down the barrel. The lugs are very short, so it just hits nicely in the middle of the wrist. I'd say this watch could probably be worn by somebody for as little as a 6-inch wrist, maybe 6 1/4 inch wrist. Definitely not an overpowering watch in any sense of the word. Nice satin finish on the flanks. I think in a dive watch, a satin finish makes a little bit more sense. There are some critters in the sea if you actually take these watches diving, which we know most people who own dive watches do not take them diving. But most critters, pardon me, in the sea love shiny, flashy objects, and they swim to them with great abandon, usually with their teeth bared, and especially barracuda, which are 3 feet long, and 2.5 feet of that 3 feet are teeth. Not a fish I want to attract with flash and fancy, since they do tend to chomp rather violently. Nice watch. Very nice watch. Got my sheet of facts here so I can tell you a bit more about this watch. This is as I said, Borealis Cascais. That's Cascias, Cascais. It looks to my American eyes and brain. Like I said before, I only speak 2 languages, English and bad English. This is Cascais V2 version AB. What that means, I don't know. It is a black Portuguese cobblestone dial. This is according to the website. This particular one has the pencil hands. They also sell a version of this with cathedral hands. You can see that on the website. This is also the no date version. They do sell with a date. Now, when you unscrew the crown, and it does disengage with a very satisfying pop, the first position is a ghost position in this watch. The movement they use in here, the Miyota 9015, does hack. It does hand wind. It does have a date function on it if a date wheel were available. Of course, on this watch, a date wheel is not, so first position is a ghost position. It does screw in very easily. The threads engage smoothly, and it does screw in very nicely. It's a very forgiving watch. It is a 41 millimeter diameter case. These measurements come from the website, so they come from Borealis itself. 47.5 millimeter lug to lug, 20 millimeter lug width, 12.3 millimeter thick. It uses a double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating. So we're not skimping on the quality here, folks. 120 click unidirectional bezel. You can see it does not go back clockwise. It's only a counterclockwise rotation. Lines up beautifully every time. No slop in the mechanism. Vocal, but not overly so, spring. And it uses a ceramic insert. So, watch is tough. 300-meter water resistance, or 30 atmospheres, as you can see there on the dial. And everything is done in 316L stainless. Signed Clasp and Crown. Whoops. Well, it's upside down, of course. Just everything about this watch says it's a nice, good quality, everyday wear diver. There's nothing about this watch that screams low rent or low quality. It's a good, solid piece that you can buy at a relatively inexpensive price. I believe it's two payments of $195 or something like that. So it's basically a sub $400 diver with a Miyota movement in it, which is 9015 is a reliable movement. I have a couple of watches myself with Miyota movements in it. I've had no trouble from them. It's on a comparison level with the say the Islander series from Long Island Watch, although the Islander line is a bit less expensive. They use a Seiko movement instead of Miyota. It's also somewhat analogous to the to a couple of Orient watches, and it's also analogous to the SKX line, which we know is discontinued now, and the 5KX line that replaced it. Although obviously this watch is a little more expensive than those watches. But this one has a little bit more of a design flair owing to the dial and the little gold accent touches on the hands and the indices. That's a little bit of an uptick. But everything else is pretty much comparable to those watches. So that's this watch's main competition, are those watches and others, of course. Zelos comes to mind with the Mako. Of course, the Makos are a little more expensive. The Swordfish line, both the 40 and the 42 millimeters, they're comparable prices to this one. So now you have an idea of what this watch is up against, or what those watches are up against with the Borealis. I've not had a lot of direct dealings with Borealis in terms of customer service, because I honestly don't own one at this time, so I haven't dealt with them on a customer level. But I do know people in the watch world that I trust that have Borealis watches that say that dealing with those folks is just fine. So there you have it. A nice review of a tour watch. I don't own this one. After I wrap this video up, I am going to be shipping it off to the next person for their enjoyment. I've enjoyed having this watch around for a little while, and I have no complaints. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Clicking on the thumbs up button or the like button, whatever you choose to call it, does help my channel. The more likes a video gets, the more likely it is that that video will show up in a search through the YouTube algorithms. And not only showing up in a search, but showing up higher in a search. So the more likes I get, the better YouTube seems to like my videos with respect to the search algorithm. Comments, questions, and suggestions go down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to send, links, or you're going to say, be my friend, or whatever, silliness like that from from garbage profiles, or you're going to troll me and be nasty, I'm going to delete those comments so they're not seen. I'm going to block you so you're not seen. If you're new here, of course, welcome to my channel. I'm certainly glad you're here. I'm glad you found me. I hope I was entertaining and informative to you. Before you leave, please feel free to look at other videos on my channel. And then when you are done, please click the subscribe button. When you do that, click the bell icon next to it so that when I upload new content or when I go live, which I do every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time, and also on other days of the week as the opportunities arise, when I go live, you will be alerted to those events. I hope everyone is staying safe, staying well, staying healthy, and getting through the trying times that we are in right now. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me today, and I will see you in my next video.